Hey guys, this is JJInterviews and we're interviewing Chronolyth. Please introduce yourself, your role in the band, and say something about yourself that nobody knows.
I'm Alex, I play guitar. I always wanted to be the drummer. I guess that's something not many people know.
I'm Hamish, I do the vocals and screaming and attempted singing, and I don't know.
Yeah, really.
There's nothing really interesting to say.
You rock a mad
Hamish,
afro.
Rock a mad afro.
He rocks mad afros.
Used to love,
and he likes Krispy Kreme donuts.
I love Krispy Kreme donuts, there we go.
Yeah.
And coffee.
I'm Ben, and I do guitar in the band, and I don't know, I guess I always wanted to be the singer.
How did the band come together?
We went through a couple of lineups back in, was it 2011? Yeah, 2011. And basically Hamish and I got stuck together and we had a tour booked and we kind of had to either just drop the tour or come up with a new lineup, and so then we got Ben and our drummer G along and Jimmy at the time. So I guess it kind of just went from there and we just didn't stop.
How did you come up with your band name?
It's actually, when we had to rename the band, it sounds stupid now, but we kind of just, I was sitting with a mate in a McDonald's car park, and we were going through his iPod just randomly doing whatever, and we needed a new name, and he was kind of just looking through, and he came across the Cannabis Corpse song, Chronolyth. Oh. And I don't know, it just sounded cool. I don't really know why we went with that, but we did. It just stood out, and we just changed the I to a Y. It was really
Just
quite, yeah. Like,
there was another band called Chronolith and they had an I in their name. It's like, well, we got a Y, so yeah.
For those people who don't know your band, briefly describe yourselves in 5 words.
Ooh, Hamish should probably answer this one best. Adrenaline.
The band in 5 words.
Yeah.
2,
3, 4, 5. Was that 5 words?
What is it?
The band in 5 words. The band in 5 words. It's
The
5
band
words.
in 5 words.
Adrenaline, very energetic, live show.
Messy.
Groove, messy, dirty.
Got one more. Dirty.
So you just finished recording your new album. What is the name of it?
We don't have a final name at the moment, but the name we've been working with is Atrophy. So everything's still kind of project names. Like we've just kind of we're getting the mix. We're about to send the mixes off. We're still getting the raw tracks back. So from now we're going to be finalising names, album titles. When we have the artwork, we've got draft ideas. It might change, but that's what we're going for at the moment.
I suppose we're leaving it till last because it's kind of hard to find like either one word or a few words that kind of properly sum up the album. So yeah, so it's really just going through all the lyrics and see what stands out essentially.
How long did it take for you to make it?
I believe we started writing we started properly writing in October. We've had a couple of ideas here and there, but nothing was clicking, and we weren't agreeing on a lot of the songs that we were coming up with until around about October mark. And then I think Ben kind of just wrote this one song, which is on the album, and it kind of just sparked this inspiration, and we just kind of went from there. I think one thing we did learn was being a bit more open-minded to the writing approach. It helped a lot with writing new material without kind of blowing each other's ideas away or anything.
Having to fit into imaginary guidelines. There's a lot of struggle, especially for me, trying to write off, the back of Sovereign, which was very much like an Alex written record. It came to the time that we were both going to bring things to the table and start writing together. We sort of struggled to get tangible ideas down to begin with because both of us were set in our ways of writing A or B. Eventually we came to this, I don't really know, we just sort of came around to both ideas, both each other's ideas, and we just sort of went from there.
Yeah, I definitely think the last album was very much more structured with like formula kind of style writing, whereas this time it was a bit more natural, and it turned out a lot bigger, I think, for it because it allowed a lot more ideas and creativity and all that kind of
input. So it was more of a chance to kind of show everyone's influences, and so it started off kind of like a bit misdirected and a bit unfocused, but somehow we managed to grab those ideas and put them into an album.
What is your writing process?
Again, like we kind of, as we were just saying with the last question, last time was very formula driven. We'd find like a kind of sound we were going for and we'd kind of hash it out. But this time around, it would be more like an idea. We'd try to write out kind of like a skeleton of the song that we wanted to go for, and depending on who wrote it, we would send it to the other person, either Ben or I, and we would kind of add an extra flair to it or an idea, or we'd restructure it or do whatever and take the best ideas to make it pop the best.
Yeah.
I think we also tried to open it up a little bit this time with different instrumental input. Like we've got like female vocals, we've got a guest vocalist from another band. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Am I allowed to say? Yeah. Colin Jeffs, who was previously in Innovations Crown, we've got him on board. We've also got like, piano, acoustic guitars, clean guitars, little things like that that give it a bit more than the last album, just more diversity, texture. So,
What kind of sound were you going for?
That's really hard to describe, because I suppose like with the last album, I'd say it was like a very melodic death album with a lot of groove elements. But for this one, we didn't really have like any sort of set sound. It was essentially, people like pulling their ideas into the middle and it's like, do you like it? And it's like, yeah, it's alright.
I don't know. A lot of influences that I tend to pick up from are a lot of black metal and extreme subgenres, but then on the flip side of that, there's a lot of like metalcore.
Yeah.
So, one of the songs on the album is a straight up metalcore song as far as structure and riffs goes.
Yeah.
And then,
Metalcore.
four songs prior to that, there's a black metal song, which again I wrote in the space of 2 days.
because of this reason, though, we tend to we've tried to stop referring to subgenres because, the whole war of, hey, that's metalcore, that's black metal, nah, it's progressive, whatever. Yeah. So I think we got to a point where we kept picking on each other's things, saying that sounds like this, and we're just like, nah, fuck it, that just sounds like us, it sounds like Chronolyth. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what we ended up going for, but it did stem from a lot of, Ben does add a lot of black metal kind of ideas to it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's black metal. I personally don't like black metal at all, but Ben loves black metal. So you've got a huge kind of spectrum. Yeah. But
and sort of vocally as well. Like even though there isn't like a huge hardcore influence on the album, I was trying to like kind of meet like a middle line between metal and hardcore. Yeah, like to have like exactly, yeah. So they like have this more aggressive kind of tone, but also kind of challenge myself vocally as well.
Is there any concept behind the album?
Well, we kind of like to have like some sort of overall theme to our albums. I think it's like mostly mine thing. I don't know, I just don't like a lot of disconnected songs, to be honest. So with the last album, it was kind of like playing with the concept of like power and everywhere I see it in the world. So this one, I suppose with like the working title Atrophy at the moment, the subject matter is a lot darker, sort of, and it kind of deals with a lot more kind of like personal issues. So with the last album, it was like more kind of like seeing things and how I think I see them in the world, I'd rather like write something from a more personal perspective, and when something's more personal you can write more stuff about it and how it influences you. So
one other note with it is a little extra thing we kind of added in is the first and last tracks on the album link, but in a subtle way. There's little elements that kind of make the songs tie around as though the whole album comes full circle.
Instrumentally
even lyrically as well. I believe you wrote some,
we like to tie
like
we tried with the concept of like try to tie like the first and last songs together, so it kind of like comes full circle in a way.
Like if you notice the melodies ending, like the melody ending the song on the last track is very much similar to the melody at the beginning of the first track, but on different instruments with slight changes, and vocal rhythms in the first verse of the last song is very similar rhythmically to the first verse of the first song. So just little things like that kind of make it feel like more of a experience rather than just, hey, we wrote this song, we threw it on an album. Yeah, that's cool. So
what are each of your favourite songs on the album?
Can we talk project names or the supposed real names?
Just two.
We have a thing with our project names where they're not usually too like
they're
not very
final.
Very politically incorrect.
One that came back a couple days ago I think it's going to be titled Live to Destroy. That one turned out surprisingly. It wasn't, not that I didn't like it, I always liked it, but I tend to favour a lot of Ben's stuff because, you hear your own work and all that kind of stuff. But that one came back and I was pretty happy with how it turned out. A couple of other ones, I'm trying to remember the real name for it.
Which was, the fast one, Break Your Neck?
No. The Little Mermaid. What's the Little Mermaid?
Little Mermaid.
Unified Hatred.
Yeah, that
Unified
one.
Hatred,
That one.
yeah.
I really like that one. And Burn. But they're three of my favourite ones. So I don't know what their
Yeah.
three favourites.
I don't know. Like, I suppose like with a couple of the songs we've tried to experiment with a couple of Queen vocals. So I kind of like hearing some of the songs and hearing some of the Queen vocals come back, and it's like, wow, that's actually in tune. That sounds not too bad. I kind of like this song now. So kind of hearing those. What that was. Melodica.
What's the real name though?
Shadows and Sorrow. There's another one was Live to Destroy was a good one. I really like one we called Revenants, which is so far our fastest song on the album. But we also managed to wean in a couple of melodic vocals in there as well. It's going to be a absolute doozy to pull off live. But yeah, it's the ones that I found like really challenging. I find like the songs that I really like are the ones that pump me up the most. So like I can listen to it, and every time I listen to it, it just pumps me up, and I just really want to play it. Yeah.
I'm the same as Hamish. A lot of the riffs that Alex or I write, there'll be little sections, in the songs where you go, yeah, that's awesome. Like I can't wait to play this live. On our way here, we were going through, the raw audio files. That we've gotten back from the studio, and Alex and I were both saying, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so fun to play live, and I think songs like that are definitely my favourites. So yeah, Live to Destroy, Burn, Facing the Ash, Revenants. There's most of the songs in the album.
What's been the best and worst part of being in the studio?
It's expensive. That's the worst part.
Getting really, really frustrated with certain riffs. Like there's a certain lead on one of the tracks that you hear in the first 5 seconds of the song, and right at the end of my last day of recording, I still had that to do. I had about an hour and a half worth of recording time left, and I just could not get the lead at all.
You get worn out. It might not even be a hard part, but you just tighten up and you just can't keep the flow, and it gets really, really, really tiring. Another really good thing about the studio is I have the biggest man crush on Nick, our producer. I love that dude. He's awesome.
He's a sexy man,
he's hot, man. He's hot. He worked on the last album with us as well, so I feel like I'd hope he likes us too. I hope he's not sick of us. But no, he's done really good for us. So that's
best
another
part's
good thing.
lunch as well. Lunch is the best part, especially for me. Worst part's doing vocals, so best time is having lunch and giving my vocals a break, and then dreading going back in the studio. But I suppose the best thing as well is just hearing everything come together. So like all the hard effort and stuff we put into, like every time it's like, do it again, it's like, god damn it. And then hearing at the end of the day and how that all came together, it's like, man, so glad. That sounds awesome.
So where can people get a copy of the CD?
Not the old CD, but the previous CD, you can get it off of our Bandcamp if you're looking for digital, which is chronolyth.bandcamp.com. Or you could get hard copies at the moment. I don't know how long the sale's going for, but we have it up 50% off. We occasionally do little things like that just to get it to people from chronolyth.bigcartel.com. You can also get it on iTunes. You can stream it on Spotify, Google. You can get it everywhere. Pretty much everywhere you can get it from. New album, we're looking into distribution options, so it's not finalised yet, but it will definitely be known when we know where. So.
What is your name and role in the band?
Michael, I'm the drummer.
Yeah, continuity area. This guy just showed up.
What have you learned from being in a band?
It's like married to 5 people.
Yeah, it is. It's like having 5 girlfriends at the same time.
We're the best of mates, but God, we piss each other off sometimes.
Yeah. Like even the other day, I blew up at G and our manager Jono, and we just had a massive swear fest at each other. It was great.
Yeah, second family.
Yeah.
Touring is the funnest part because you leave the family you love and join the family you hate. Not really, but yeah.
It makes everything a lot more difficult as well, because it's like 5 different opinions. Like even if it's just one, like 4 people agree and 1 person won't. And yet we still have to find a compromise.
Yeah.
Hardest part's definitely finding a compromise, because you'll never have 5 people agree on the same thing, ever.
Do your best impression of a crazy mosh pit.
Does that count for the whole band, or?
Gay wrestling?
Sweet. Gay wrestling. Jono.
Yeah.
That's right. That's our cardio for the day.
Cardio for the day.
If you could trade places with one person in your band for a day, who would it be?
The drummer. Permanently. You're fired.
I don't know. Probably Hamish. Yeah.
You wouldn't mind
probably
giving
Hamish.
vocals to do it go? Yeah.
That'd be cool. Maybe guitar would be cool. Yeah, one of you guys.
If you could have 3 wishes from a snail, what would they be?
Double cheeseburger, Coke, and large fries. They can give that to me for free.
3 wishes, eh?
3 wishes.
And they have to be real rich so we can go everywhere.
Money would solve every band's problems.
Yeah.
It's always an
That's
issue.
probably why they wouldn't be in a band. Like,
Burritos.
yeah. 3 burritos, please.
I trade it all for a big dick, money, and bitches. Yeah, that's just me. These guys are on a different page.
Have you ever had any embarrassing moments on stage?
Yeah, I have this thing where I tear my pants like all the time.
Like every show.
Every gig.
Right down in like...
Like, I don't know what it is. It's any pair of pants. It could literally be any pair of pants and I'll tear them.
It's because he has this crazy big, like, fucking...
Crab.
Yeah,
Massive,
it's like the way he does it, it's like...
They look great, but they always rip in like the most awkward area as well.
Once we were playing, this was ages ago, like
At the crowbar.
at the crowbar, and I just had a huge mental blank on Condemned, one of our songs, one of our film clips, and I was just like, my brain just like exited my body.
Yeah, I
was just
remember
like,
that.
what am I doing? And
We started it again
and
3 or
Ben's
4
just like
times.
playing the riff, and I was just like, yeah, good riff, man. And then I was just like, wait, I got it.
Third time's the charm.
good times.
First gig I ever had with, probably before like this lineup, I was like nervous as all hell. So I probably had a few too many beers beforehand, which is now promoted my #1 rule of never drinking before a show. Which you introduced for me. It's no more drinking, Hamish. Did a 45-minute set, like 2 songs from the set just felt so nauseous. Anyway, finished the set, went back into the green room. There was nothing and nowhere to throw up, so I just found like an empty jug and just came out with a jug of absolute beer and cheeseburger just all in one. Ugh.
What is your zombie plan?
Alright, so if we had like the zombies start out in like Queen Street, like the middle of the city there, we need to find like the closest Bunnings, get like some machetes or like some gardening shears or whatever. Come back, get on one of the city cats, go out to Moreton Bay. Where's the Bunnings?
Jump into the river.
Oh yes. Probably hit past off your tree as well.
Hijack a city cat.
Hijack a city cat.
Just go.
Take
someone takes us.
several men and a handful of women to rebuild the population. And
I'd say several women and a handful of men.
yep.
That's just me. though.
Camping store. Need to go to a camping store to get like really thick clothing as well. Because that's what the people are like, need to move faster. But it's like, yeah, but it's not going to mean much if the zombies bite you. So, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but there's this like app. I don't think it's on iPhones anymore. I think they took it off. It's only on like Androids and stuff. But one of my friends introduced me to it. It's called Zombie Run. And you have yourself, and then you have a destination anywhere that you have to go to, and it generates these red marks. And there's supposed to be zombies, and they all come at you, and you got to go wherever you're going.
That's cool.
Basically, well, that's my idea of a zombie invasion. You basically just have to gun it from digital red marks that you can't actually see, but we got some really weird looks. I think they thought we were on meth when we played that, because we were running down the street at midnight, just gunning it, and like, yeah, there's all these red dots. We're like, they gotta get us, man! And there's like these kids in the park looking at us like, what are these guys doing? Like,
Yep.
but that's, yeah.
So why you got to keep up your cardio because you need to run fast from the zombies. So.
Alex will just basically gap it and the rest of us will be on a boat.
Gonna leave you behind, man. Sorry.
They're coming, man!
Oh, cut your hair short as well. First thing you gotta do because they'll grab you by the hair.
Yeah, that's true. They'll make me their bitch.
What are some tips for people wanting to start a band?
You need to be passionate. There's no such thing as fame. There's no such thing as rock stars. You got to do it. You got to do it because you love it. And if you don't do it.
Yeah.
Because you're wasting your time.
Between passionate and being an absolute dick. You can't be a dick in the music industry.
Oh, I'm a bit of a dick.
Don't talk shit about other bands. Don't rat off. Especially the Facebook. Don't rant about other bands or your band on Facebook. Because one thing you got to be. It's in one word, professional.
Yeah.
You really got to be professional right from the get go. And yeah, just be determined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do your own things, I guess. So you just got to, you consume a lot of money being in a band. You've got to self-manage your own tours, your own shows. You've got to, go through 50 emails an hour to book shows and get endorsement deals and things like that. Like, it's just full on. So if you really want to get serious about it, you've got to be basically dedicated, professional, and be willing to sacrifice heaps and heaps of money for the fact that you get to do awesome things.
And expect like nothing straight up as well. Everything that like we've managed to get is, even though it sounds a little bit arrogant, we did the hard work. Like we got on Soundwave because we did over a 20-day tour, and we just came back in the middle and somehow we just got lucky. But don't expect anything right off the bat. You get given what you deserve, essentially. Just stay determined and stay out there.
Even though people might see it as a hobby, you have to treat it as a business. You can't do it unless you see it as a business, whether or not other people agree with that.
Or your main job even,
Except you're earning
so much money goes into it that with the money, you can't just sit down on your Facebook and be like, come to our shows. You've got to get out there and actually
support other people so they'll support you back.
It's all exactly. It's kind of like a family-ish kind of scene in Brisbane, which is awesome. And then you'll notice if one band sort of gets out there, like the rest will follow. You just got to be willing to sacrifice everything ever because it's awesome, but it's hard, but it's worth it.
I always say it, but King Parrot are a perfect example of that right now. You can tell they've given up everything to do what they have to do, and they're doing it well. They wouldn't be where they are if they don't work their asses off. So.
And lastly, do you have any messages you'd like to give out to your fans?
Thank you. We love you.
No, thanks a lot. No, you guys make it really all possible. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. You guys coming out to the shows is one of the reasons which makes every show an absolute killer show. So if you guys are out there and having a good time, then that's all we could ask for.
Don't think that Alex and I hate you guys because we're death staring you at a show. We really do love you. It's just the fact that we've got to have this stage persona.
And if I'm spitting water or blood on you, g'day mate.
Awesome.
No, I do this, but the thing that makes it for me is fan interaction. There's nothing cooler in the world than having someone say they dig what you do. There's nothing cooler. That's why I still do it.
Having someone love the stuff that you lay down on a record or the live shows, or it's just the best feeling ever. And we've got a new album coming out, so fans, just
Stay tuned and support not just us, but support every band that you love. If you're going to download an album, at least buy a t-shirt. Every little bit helps.
If there's anything you can do, anything you can do to support a band is go to the shows, buy merch. It's honestly the best thing you can do. That's the only way that bands can keep doing it, because if bands can't tour, bands can't survive, and if they're going to tour, they need money to tour, and you got to fund that somehow. And obviously, it's something you can take home too from the show. Bit of merch.
Cool. So. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been JJ Interviews. Keep smiling, stay positive, and rock on.